Morning. Morning, Nikki. I'm okay. How are you? Just sink you to this one. There we go. Wednesday. It's like the days just boom, boom, boom. They're just coming so quick. Can't believe it. We're mid-March. That's ridiculous. That's a year since we've been doing this. Goodness me. Okay, so if you've not done Pilates before, I start at level 1 and we build it up gradually. So stick to a level where you feel comfortable. Work within your own range, okay? What happens is when I teach it in a big class at one of the centres is if we get someone new that comes in, even though I say stick to your own, you know, you're new, do level 1, they try and keep up with everyone else, and everyone else is at a different level. You've got someone that's been coming for maybe 2 or 3 years that's at a level 3, and then you've got someone that's been coming for 5 years that's still at a level 1, or someone's got an injury but they don't know that, and so don't ever feel like you have to push yourself further than you physically can. Try, but it was too much, go back down. Okay, so if you've got knee problems, back problems, don't worry, this should be okay, but like I just said, use those lower levels, okay? If something is uncomfortable to the point of pain, not, you know, you should feel a certain amount of tension in muscle groups, but it shouldn't be to the point where you're like, oh God, that really hurts. Don't do it. Come down a level. Rest if you need to, yeah? Get a drink at any time, rest at any time, and let's do some work. Okay, so we're going to start with standing nice and upright, nice and tall. Toes and knees point forwards, shoulders down and relaxed. Make sure that you are balanced and central, so you're just rocking side to side, forwards, backwards, making sure you've got an even distribution of body weight across both of those feet. Don't feel like you're leaning, don't feel lopsided. Finding the neutral spine, you're just going to tilt the pelvis forwards and backwards. You're finding the position where your back feels the most comfortable. You've got that natural lordotic curve. That straight line coming from the head all the way down to the heels. Relax the shoulders. Engage the core. So draw up your pelvic floor, the muscle you'd use to stop mid-flow, yeah? Pull that muscle up from within. Imagine it's on the lift, you're going to top floor, floor 10, take it down to floor 5, down to floor 3, and leave it there. Then imagine you've got a tight belt around your middle. You've got 10 notches to your belt. And I want you to pull that belt in as tight as you can. So it goes all the way into notch number 10. Feels uncomfortable, you wouldn't be able to maintain it for the whole session. Take it out to notch 5, out to notch 3, and leave it there. Morning, Anna. Here's not too bad. So the vet yesterday, basically we took him to the vet yesterday, and I can find out, Marie, that might not be impossible. I will find out, yeah? Because we will look at putting daytime classes back on, so that's fine. Yeah, so no, we took the dog to the vet yesterday. It's not out of the woods by any means. Basically, he's been given a lifeline for a week, and then we have to see. So yeah, okay. So shoulders are down. We've done the core muscles. We've done our neutral spine. So we need to breathe from the rib cage. Hands on the ribs, fingertips touch. You're going to take a nice deep breath in, opening the ribs, and release. Taking a nice deep breath and release. Relax the arms down. Begin to pivot through your feet one side to the other, raising up an alternating heel. Allow those shoulders to rotate one way and then the other. Lovely. Place the feet down. Lift all the way up onto the toes. You're going to lose my forehead. That's okay. And release. Lift all the way up onto the toes and release. One more time. Lift and lengthen. And release. Good. So you're going to take a lunge forward on one leg, drop the back knee, arms come up, rotate, center and in. And again, drop the back knee. You're going to rotate to the side. Whichever leg is in front, that's the side I'd like you to turn towards. So flatten your front foot, drop and bend your back knee. Good. As you rotate, hips stay facing forwards. That movement is coming through the back, so the hips stay in place. One more on each side for me, please. Breathe out, breathe in. One more here. Good. And in the center, step those legs out and just ease from one side to the other. One leg lengthens, the other leg bends. Bring one arm round, mobilize through the shoulder, and change arms. Rotate, mobilize around the shoulder. Good. And then you're going to hold it in the middle, arms out, breathe in. Breathe out, lengthen, look to the hand. Breathe in, come to the center. Again, breathe out, lengthen, look to the hand. Breathe in, come to the center. So you're lengthening through the waist. Core muscles remaining in place. One last one here. And then holding it in the middle, relax the arms, step those feet in. 1 foot forward, circle the leg round, lift the knee up, balance. Toe forward, circle the leg round, lift the knee, balance. Good, again. All the way around, mobilize the hip. Hold it here, ankle one way and the other. And place the foot down. Other leg forward, point the toe. Circle, rotate round through the hip, lift the knee and balance. Toe forward, circle round, lift the knee. That is my toe that keeps getting caught on the mat, that little noise you can hear. Good. Holding it up this time. Ankle one way and the other. And place the foot down. Good. So you can stand towards the back of your mat or whatever it is you want to lay on. Breathe in, tuck the chin to the chest. Breathe out, begin to roll down through your back. Soften your knees, allow the arms to hang relaxed like wet spaghetti. Then when you're ready, begin to roll up through the back, rebuilding the spine, all the way to the top, relax the shoulders. Breathe in, chin to the chest. Breathe out, gently roll down through the back. Soften your knees, allow the arms to hang and relax. And then when you're ready, breathe in. Breathe out, begin to roll up through the back, rebuild your spine, relax the shoulders down. So we're going to roll down to come down to the floor this time. All the way down through the back at your lowest point, walk your hands forwards and gently lower the knees to the floor. So your back is nice and level, should be able to balance a tray of drinks on your back. You're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, push one leg back. As you breathe in, draw that leg back in. Other leg, breathe out. You're pushing it out along the floor, creating resistance between your foot and the floor, yeah? So you can feel a lengthening as the leg moves away, and then as it comes in, those muscles retracting, yeah? Good. Breathe out, lengthen, and then you could lift. Breathe into lower. And return. So you've got to have that leg all the way out before it comes up. Toes touch down at its furthest point before you bring that leg back in. So toes touch and then bring it in. Opposite arm can slide out along the floor. Opposite arm could lengthen and then raise. They've got to be straight to lift. They've got to be straight on the lower and then they come in. If you're dropping from side to side, you need to keep the arm down. If your arms are down and you're still dropping side to side, then don't lift your leg, okay? Breathe out to lengthen and raise. Breathe into lower and return. Core muscles zipped up, pulled in and in place. Strengthening through the core and the lumbar spine. And I'm going to ask you for one more on each side, please. Once you've completed those two, you're going to carefully bring yourself down. Elbows underneath the shoulders. You're going to draw your pelvis up. You've got your toes on the floor, okay? All I want you to do is flex one foot so the toes aren't on the floor and then raise that leg. If I was to put my toes down towards the floor again, the toes would touch. So all I've done is lifted my knee and point my toes away. Otherwise, your leg will be right up there, and I don't want it right in the air. So you've got one knee down, the other knee has come off the floor. If you point the toes to the floor, it would touch. And then all I want you to do is pull the toes away from the body. Okay? So that leg isn't too high. You're going to allow that leg to carefully lower. Breathe in. As you breathe out, other leg comes up. Remember, if the toes point down, look at my foot. Toe touches the floor, yeah? Toe moves away. That's as high as it needs to be. Keeping the parallel hips, keeping the core muscles in place. If it's too much, keep the leg down. I'm going to ask you for 2 more breaths. Then you can allow that leg to lower. Carefully lowering all the way down onto your front. Taking the forehead to the floor, bringing the hands into the small of the back. Bring your legs together. Point the toes away. Breathe in. As you breathe out, raise both legs. Now, as soon as you lifted your legs, your pelvis will have pushed down a little bit, okay? I want you to draw your belly button up. So imagine there's an ice cube underneath your belly button. Draw it up. Breathe in. As you breathe out, 1, 2, 3. Breathe in and lengthen. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3. Breathe in and lengthen. So those heels are coming towards your bottom. Breathing out as the legs move towards you. Breathing in as they return. So easier option here would be one leg at a time. Make sure the belly button is drawn up, your head is down. Double leg kick. Work through the glutes and the hamstrings. And I'm going to ask you for 2 more. I can feel a bit of cramp creeping in. When you've done those 2, you can relax the legs, release the arms, come back into leg pull, knees down level 1, knees up level 2. Hold and breathe. Looking down towards the floor. Don't hang the head, don't crank the neck. Your neck needs to be in line with the spine. Level 1, knees down, level 2, knees up. If you want level 3, I want wrist, elbow, shoulder, then pull up. I don't want your bottom in the air, and I don't want you to dip down, okay? Wrist, elbow, shoulder. Chest distance apart with those hands. Core muscles zipped up, pulled in, and engaged. If you begin to shake or wobble at any level, then rest down, yeah? Core muscles zipped up, pulled in and in place. Strengthening through the core, the lumbar spine. So I'm going to ask you please, for 2 more breaths. Once you've done those 2, you're going to gently lower. You're coming back down onto your front. This time fully extend the arms and the legs. Now, you're going to be lifting one arm and the opposite leg. So draw up through the belly button, keep the back in place. Breathe in. As you breathe out, raise one arm and the opposite leg. Breathe in to lower. Breathe out, lift the other side. Breathe in to lower. So you're only lifting as far as comfortable for you. You can do just the arm or just the leg if you prefer. Breathe out as you lift. Breathe in as you lower. Core muscles zipped in, pulled in and in place. Breathe out as you raise, in as you release. You've got to keep the arms and legs as straight as possible. Point the toes away from the body, draw up through the core. And I'm going to ask you, in your swimming, in this prone position, for 2 more, that's 1 with each side, please. Once you've completed those 2, You're going to slide the arms back under and turn onto one side. Legs are bent, okay, soles of the feet are in line with the bottom. Elbow underneath the shoulder, hoist the rib cage up. So if you manage nothing else, keep the rib cage up because you're already working the obliques. Core is drawn in, shoulders in line, chest open. Hand could be there for a bit of balance. You're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, you're going to lift the hip. As you breathe in, you're going to release. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in, release. You can add the arm. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in, lower. Don't let the rib cage drop down. You're just lifting and lowering the hip. If you want to go further, legs out straight. Breathe out to lift. Breathe in to release. Keep that body in a straight line, guys. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in, release. Or remember, first option, just hold. Yeah? So I'm going to ask you in your side bend for 2 more repetitions at your level. Once you've done your 2, you're going to gently release and lower all the way down. Now it's very important that you work with your breathing because if you rush your movement, you're going to be breathing too quickly and then you won't be working effectively, okay? So make sure it is those full deep breaths that we talked about in the warm-up, okay? Head rest down, you're looking straight ahead. Straight line from the fingers all the way down to the toes, okay? Breathe in. As you breathe out, raise both legs without rolling the hips forwards or back. Hand is there for balance, but you could take it away. Strengthen the core, the obliques, the lumbar spine. Your top leg is going to lift. Breathe in. As you breathe out, lift up. As you breathe in, release. As you breathe out, lift up. As you breathe in, release. Hand is there for balance or on the thigh. Your next option is to bring that arm over. Breathe out as you lift, in as you release. And then your final option is to raise the arm so the fingers come up and point to the ceiling as that leg raises. Breathe out as you lift, in as you release, without rolling the hips. Bottom leg remains lifted and still. Breathe out to lift, breathe in to lower. And that gives us some work around the hip and down the side of that leg. I'm going to ask you please for 2 more. Once you've done those 2, allow those legs to lower. You're going to bend your bottom leg and you're going to keep your top leg straight. Toes point forward so the sole of your foot is now facing the wall, okay? Head is down. You can have your arm in front or over. Breathe in. As you breathe out, lift your top leg. Toes forward. Breathe in. As you breathe out, 5 circles. Breathe in and hold. And then breathe out. Go back the other way. So we're looking for fast movement on this one, but you're still only using full deep breaths. As many rotations as you can from one single exhale. Changing the direction every time you stop. Hip circles, strengthening of the leg from the hip, from the core. Keep those toes forwards. One last one in each direction. And then release the leg down and give that hip a well-deserved rub. Then you're going to push yourself to sit. What's my drink? Sitting upright. Legs bent, down and relaxed. Breathe in, tilt the pelvis under so you create a C-shaped spine. Breathe out, gently lower, only as far as comfortable for you. Then breathe in, start the lift, breathe out, continue all the way up. Breathe in and tilt, breathe out and lower. Breathe in, start the lift, breathe out, continue all the way up. So you're strengthening through the lower back. You're allowing your core muscles to bring you back up. Now you could work with straight legs if you prefer, and only go as far as comfortable for you. So if you only want to go to there, that is absolutely fine, because however far you go down, you've got to get back up without moving anything else, okay? So breathe in and tilt, breathe out and lower. Breathe in, start the lift, breathe out, continue the lift. Strengthen through the core and the lumbar spine. Roll up, yeah? Strengthen through the core and the lumbar spine. Deep, full breaths, smooth, controlled movements. Breathe in, tilt, breathe out, lower. Breathe in, start the lift, breathe out, continue the lift. And I'm going to ask you, please, for 2 more complete down and ups, okay? Once you've completed those 2, I want you to stay in that seated position, alright? Making sure you're not going to hit your head on anything. You're going to breathe in, roll back, breathe out, come back up, and your feet come down to the floor. Breathe in, tilt and roll, breathe out, come up. If you want to go to the next level, hover the feet above the floor, and as you come back up, they stay hovered and lengthen your back. If you want level 3, cross the legs, hold your feet, the crab, and as you come up, just come back up to start position. Don't come over here, don't let the legs touch down. So when you're ready, you can start. Breathe in, tilt and roll, breathe out, come up. It's the motion of a rocking chair or rocking horse. It's that nice mobility through the spine. So this is level 3 with the legs crossed. Level 2, your feet don't touch down. There is a natural gap between the thighs here. The only time the thighs touch, or the legs touch, is if you're doing level 3, alright? Otherwise, feet and knees stay hips distance apart, and bring your feet all the way down to that level 1 option. Breathe in, tilt and roll, breathe out, come back up. So I'm going to ask you please for 1 more of those, and then carefully come all the way down onto your back and lengthen out your legs. Arms are down by your sides, shoulders are down, relaxed. Good. Core muscles in place, breathe in. As you breathe out, lift one leg all the way up, point the toe to the ceiling. Breathe in. As you breathe out, slowly, keeping the core engaged, allow that leg to lower. Now, I want you to hold it, breathe in, and then breathe out, let it go all the way. Once it's down, breathe in, lift the other leg, toes to the ceiling. Breathe in. As you breathe out, slowly, slowly. It's halfway, you're going to breathe in and hold. And then you're going to breathe out, continue all the way down. So this is your jackknife. Alternating from one leg to the other is your level 1 option. We're using 2 breaths to get that leg down, so it's a slow movement. Level 2, legs come up together. They're stuck together like glue. They lift all the way up and they come all the way back down. Don't drop the legs and try not to allow the tummy muscles to dome upwards. Now if you want level 3, just put my foot caught in my cable, sorry about that. If you want level 3, legs are going to come all the way up and over. So I don't know if you can see my toes, but they are to the floor behind me, okay? Then you gently allow the bottom and the back to come back down. Once that is down, then you begin that process of taking those legs all the way down to the floor. Now, if you choose to take the legs all the way over, if you're choosing that level 3 option, I want you to add an extra breath. The important thing here is do not rush. Deep, full breaths. Control the lowering, yeah? Breathing out to lower, you breathe in, hold, and then you breathe out till it gets all the way to the floor. And keep the legs as straight as possible. Point the toes away from the body. I'm going to ask you, please, for one more with each leg. If you're doing both legs together, just do one more. And once you've completed those, you're going to bend your legs and place the feet flat down. Shoulders down and relax. I want you to bring your heels slightly closer to the bottom than you would normally. We're going to come into shoulder bridge, okay? So from here, just breathe in, tilt the pelvis under. So it's like I'm rolling a marble from my pubic bone and catching it in my belly button. And then we release. Now, as you tilt, do not squeeze your bottom, okay? This isn't a glute exercise. This is for your core and your back. Breathe in and tilt. Then if you want to, you can breathe out and come all the way up into full shoulder bridge. So you've got this open space underneath the back. Then breathe in at the top. And as you breathe out, begin the process, lowering the spine back down, vertebrae by vertebrae, allowing that tailbone down last. Breathe in and tilt, breathe out and peel up. Breathe in, as you breathe out, begin to gently lower through the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Don't let these legs wobble, they stay still. So if you want to go further, we're going to breathe in and tilt, breathe out, lift up. We're going to breathe in, lift one leg up, breathe out, place that foot down, breathe in, and then breathe out to gently lower. Breathe in, tilt, breathe out, lift. Breathe in, knee, breathe out, lower. Breathe in, nothing, and then breathe out, release. So it's 3 breaths for the entire movement, including the leg raise. Alternate the leg. If you do not want to lift that leg, that is absolutely fine. Gently lowering down through the back, vertebrae by vertebrae. Even if you just want to stay with the breathe in and tilt and the breathe out release, you're still working. So that is absolutely an option, yeah? We do it to mobilise, to start to let the back to know what he's going to be doing. But you can stay with that level. Breathe in, tilt, breathe out, lift. Breathe in, knee, breathe out, lower. If you want to go further, how about you add an extra breath and then you lift one leg at a time. Breathe in, tilt, breathe out, lift. Breathe in, lift, breathe out, lower. Breathe in, lift, breathe out, lower. Breathe in, nothing, and then breathe out, gently release. So these are all options. Stick with one leg at a time. Stick with just the lift and lower. Up to you. Whichever level you've chosen, please complete 2 more repetitions. Now some of you might have added the knee, so you're working with 3 breaths, so you've got 6 breaths, yeah? Some of you haven't added the knee, so you've got 4 breaths. So it's those 2 repetitions, and once you've completed those, relax the back down. Take those heels slightly further away from the back, from the bottom. Shoulders down and relaxed. Breathe in. As you breathe out, lift one leg up into a right angle. Okay? Now keeping that leg bent at a right angle, breathe in. As you breathe out, touch the foot down. As you breathe in, lift it back up. Breathe out, touch the foot down. Breathe in, lift it up. Now I am not moving my knee. Okay, so I'm not going like this. I am moving from the top of my leg through the hip flexor, breathing out to lower and into raise. If you want to go further, lift up the other leg and you can alternate. If you've only got one leg raised, just keep using that leg and I'll let you know when to swap, okay? If you've got both legs lifted, or even if you've only got one leg raised and you fancy it, bring up the shoulders and work from here. Breathe out lower, breathe in lift. Good. If you're just using one leg, swap the leg over. If you've got both legs lifted, you could allow them to change midway. But I don't want you to do that fast. I want it to be slow and controlled. Shoulders are down or up. Remember, keep your knees still. You're moving from the top of the leg through the hip flexor. Breathing out to lower and into raise. So you've got one leg only at level 1. You could have one leg only with the upper body lifted for level 2. Or keep the shoulders down and bring the other leg up for level 2. And then if we're going all the way, we've got both legs and the shoulders lifted. And then a little bit further with that interchange. Breathe out lower, breathe in release. And I'm going to ask you please for 3 more breaths. This is your scissor. Once you've done your 3, if you've got your upper body raised, please lower. 1 foot at a time to come back down. And give yourself a nice long body stretch here, if you would like to. Oh, that feels nice. Can we just stay here for a little while? Maybe get a duvet as well. Put Netflix on, just chill for half an hour or so. Oh my gosh, that sounds perfect, doesn't it? Release. Yes. I think because I've literally not stopped since last Monday, I don't, because I blinked and missed the weekend because I was teaching. We've had all this drama, sorry, prop yourself up. We've had all this drama with my dog as well, so it's just been like bang, 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 one thing after the other. And then my youngest is doing his mock exams, so I'm getting up early every morning to cook him breakfast before he goes to school. I know, look, it says mug, right there, mug. Hoist up the rib cage. They're not going to be kids all my life. So while I can still treat them and look after them while they live in this house, that's what I'll do. I'm such a soft touch, but don't tell anyone. Hoist up the rib cage, open the chest. Good. Breathe in, breathe out as you lift, breathe in as you lower. So you're just allowing that hip to raise and release. Hand is there for balance. You could bring the arm up and over. Good. Make sure that this supporting arm isn't too far away. We want it under the shoulder so that the rib cage can hoist all the way up. If you want to go further, we're lengthening out those legs. Breathing out as we raise, in as we release. Core muscles zipped up, pulled in and engaged. I'm going to ask you please for 2 more repetitions. And then you're going to gently lower and lengthen all the way out. Head rests down on the arm. You're going to look straight ahead. Breathe in as you breathe out. Raise both your legs without rolling forwards or backwards. Sorry, my house phone is going off. Good. You'll breathe in. As you breathe out, you're going to raise. As you breathe in, you're going to lower. Hand is there for balance, but if you don't need it, you can take it away. Bottom leg is lifted and still. If you want to, you can then bring that arm over. Last option here, you can raise the arm up. So as long as you're comfortable, as long as you're able, keep that bottom leg raised. But if you're struggling, take the bottom leg down. Breathe out as you lift, in as you release. And we're working right down the side of the body, all the way down to the toes. Core, back, obliques, Breathing out as you lift, in as you release. Strengthening right through that body. Deep, full breaths, smooth, controlled movements. I'm going to ask you please for 2 more here. Side leg raise. Once you've done your 2, you can allow the arm to come back down, allow the legs to lower, and then we're on our last exercise. Bend your bottom leg, top leg straight, but point the toes forward. That is important, all right? Because it then makes a difference to which muscle group we're going to activate. And we want to get right down deep into the hip. So we're pointing our toes forwards, all right? Head rest down on the arm. Breathe in. As you breathe out, raise that top leg. That leg is in line with the body, starts and finishes in this position. Breathe in. As you breathe out, 5 circles. Breathe in, hold. As you breathe out, rotate the other way, 5 circles. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out, rotate. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out, rotate. Mobilize through the hip. Now the breath is full and deep, so that movement is controlled, but you're completing as many rotations as you can from that single exhale, that single breath out. I'm going to ask you please for 1 more set of circles in each direction, and once you've completed those, we can lower, bring that leg in and give it a rub. Well done. From there, please bring yourself round into a box position. Wrists, elbows underneath the shoulders, back nice and flat. Round the spine, tuck the chin into the chest, and release. Again, round the spine, chin into the chest, cat stretch, and release. So from here, you're going to push back into crouch position, tuck the chin into the chest. We're going to be coming to stand, so if you need something to hold on to, that's absolutely fine. You're going to place your feet down, and then you're gradually going to roll up and rebuild through the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Rebuilding that back, coming all the way up. Relax the shoulders down. Good. So as you come to your stand position, remember how we started. Neutral spine and the core muscles engaged. I want you to remember that throughout your day, okay? So every sort of hour or two, just ask yourself, are my core muscles engaged? Is my neutral spine in place? Yes, yes, excellent. Lift up onto your toes and balance. And release. And again, lift up onto the toes and balance. And release. Well done. And that is your Pilates for this morning. Marie, we will be looking at the timetables for when we reopen, okay? We're actually going to have a bit of a mix-up. We're going to review the timetables and make a few changes here and there, but it will still be all those great favourite classes of yours. We are back at 12 o'clock. I've just got time to nip to the shop, and then we have got low impact conditioning. Have some hand weights for that one, and then 4 o'clock we've got the HIIT session, okay? And that's going to be fast and furious, and that is going to be like half an hour, maybe 40 minutes of getting that heart rate up and pushing ourselves as hard as we can. Tomorrow morning, you are welcome, Nikki. Oh, good morning, Denise. You are welcome. Tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, we are back with aerobics, okay? Have a lovely day, guys. It's a bit dreary out there, but let's find something. Let's have a positive thought for the day. The positive thought is, I've got it. I'm now going to buy ice cream. I told you, can always find a positive. Take care, guys. Keep happy, keep safe, and I'll see you tomorrow or later.